Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from Astrolada.com, and these are your November 2025 horoscopes. This month we have Divine Trine, Grand Trine in water. Multiple times it's being formed. Saturn and Jupiter holding a perfect trine the whole month, and it's completed by Mercury, by Venus, by the Sun, by the new moon. The Grand Trine in water is the most healing energy we can get. There will be some spontaneous healings outside for many of you, internally, externally. The Grand Trine is the perfect triangle, the equilateral triangle through which the divine blesses us. Anytime there is outpouring of blessings, this can happen through a Grand Trine, extremely harmonious energies, guys, and we'll speak how it affects each one of you, where you can benefit the most from. Yes, we have Mercury retrograde, Jupiter turning retrograde, but the divine blessings are there helping us, even if there is some little crisis from time to time, that we can take the highest decision, that we can act from the highest possible way. And so I'm very excited about the November horoscopes, but I also am ready with the 2026 video horoscopes, 2 hours, 2 or more hours for each of the 12 signs. You can order your sun, moon, or rising just for half price if you want the package of three. And for early birds, it's only $19 per sign, or less than 40 for all three signs, or 120 for all 12 signs. My work of love, I've been working for the last month on these video horoscopes. It's exciting, and they're available. Thousands of people get them every year. This is my best project and my most loved, where I pour all my heart. Now let's begin with November and the blessings. Libra Sun Moon Rising, November 2025. Libra, this beautiful grand trine that I mentioned about, which is like a divine blessing that aligns you beautifully, is happening in the so-called taking care of business houses. We call them the responsibility, work, material, reality. So here the universe gives you this month, and even in December, so November, December, uh, to align beautifully your responsibilities, your duties, your work, your financial situation, to receive some divine help and support in regards to those matters. For example, some of you might not have a job and are worried. This beautiful alignment can be a rare opportunity that you hear back from a job you applied to, or that a new opportunity for a job appears, that and because it's a grand trine, it happens with more ease. It's not force. You don't have to fight for it so much. Sorry about that. But this alignment, for example, that can, because one of the houses involved is the sixth house of work, or maybe you're looking for the right people to help you, employees, again, there can be alignment there. Or maybe you are worried about finances and money. Again, there is beautiful part of the grand trine is those planets in your second house, where they would help you rearrange your financial situation somehow, through opportunity, through grace, even through intuitive decisions that you make. Some of you might be having ambitions about your career, about your social status, about your vocation in the world. That this is another planet of the Grand Trine, Jupiter, which is helping you this month and in December as well, to, with ease, with grace, as an opportunity to develop some aspect of your career, to improve it. But let's start one by one. Let's first start with Mercury going retrograde, which happens around the 10th of November. And it goes retrograde in your third house, conjunct Mars till the 15th of November. This, so 9th till the 15th, Mars and Mercury are conjunct. They're a little bit more, despite of all the harmonious aspects happening, they can put some pressure because they're a planet of communication and arguments together. So, and in your third house of communication. So you might be triggered, for example, till the 15th, by someone in an everyday communication, situation. You have to be a bit more cautious because Mercury is retrograde from the 10th, and like measure your words, let's say, before acting out and before responding too quickly. That can be a good advice for the whole month because Mercury stays retrograde till the end of the month. Um, then but it can also mean that you're completing some project together with colleagues, with a team, because third house is connected to team, to work on mental projects, to work on writing, speaking, media projects, any kind of calculations, marketing, advertising. All white collar work is the third house, where you use your intellectual skills, where you use your skills that you've acquired. So you might be completing something, correcting, editing with this Mercury retrograde in the third house. And of course, there might be something about the phones, laptops, communication devices that you have to be a bit more careful this month about breaking down, or it might be time to fix it, to correct it. That can be one of the means, or also it can mean you can travel back to a place that you've been to before. And Mercury retrograde in the third house, I wouldn't say you are not allowed to travel. Just be more careful, especially the week from the 9th till the 15th, because it's the house of driving. Mars is kind of wants to hurry up, Mercury retrograde, so your reactions might be a bit. So be careful on trips around this week. No, this is the week that exactly when we're traveling. I warn my Libra ascendant husband. And if you travel somewhere, it's good to travel to places you've been to before. And even communications, you'd notice that you're communicating this season, this November, with Mercury retrograde, more with people and acquaintances and people in your environment who you've known from before because of Mercury retrograde. And you might examine certain friendships and certain connections or certain business relations, certain contracts from the past you can come back to re-examine. Also pay attention to passwords, to your online activity. There is activity there with Mercury and Mars there, but because of the retrograde and the explosive nature both together, you know, things can happen there. So you just have to be a bit more cautious. But otherwise, you can get a lot of mental work done, finish, complete, especially complete some projects. Like my husband is completing certain taxes. He needs to do a lot of calculations and so on. Um, but yeah, just be careful for arguments and fights with siblings, relatives, friends, or maybe this is more actively social period as well for you, um, because of those two powerful planets, especially the first 2 weeks there. And the other planet that goes retrograde is Jupiter. On just 2 days after Mercury, on the 12th of November, and it goes retrograde in your 10th house, a house of visibility, reputation. So something there can shift. Jupiter hasn't been retrograde in your 10th house for 12 years. So a big shift in perspective about the future of your career, about the direction you want to take with your career, change of perspective and change of feeling towards your vocation and your worldly duties. And the shift is divinely timed because it's trine, beautifully trine with Saturn. And if you see a shift into your attitude towards your career, towards a father figure, towards authority figure, some shift in a development with institutions, with people in power, or your own goals and plans for the future, your own career perspectives, your own future plans for yourself can start changing, especially in regards to your social status, in regards to your reputation, in regards to your mission and career. You can even get more introspective if you're not in the right field. During the next 3-4 months, you can rethink what is it that you can do and change so you feel more aligned to your divine mission. How can you upgrade and improve and expand and grow your reputation, your career, and worldly responsibilities? or if you're not in the right field, Jupiter retrograde can turn your direction towards, introspectively to realize that, or maybe how you can change your career that you are in a way that is more emotionally fulfilling for you. Because for you as Libra, it's very important to be very emotionally fulfilled through your career because Cancer is in your 10th house. So Jupiter turning retrograde there can give you great insights in because you become more intuitive when Jupiter is retrograde. And the great insights about your career direction, your even if you're someone who does not work, maybe your worldly responsibilities, whatever they might be, a different point of view from them. And because Jupiter is receiving only good aspects this month and in December, you'll be directed towards the right way. And intuitively will know what to do in regards to your career or some project in your career that you're working on. And somehow you're very visible this month. Becomes 3 times stronger when it's stationary and it changes direction. 3 times more visible in society, 3 times maybe something happens that can put you in a higher position in society with more respect, where you can see more notice, where you can see more seen, when you can see more, when you can feel more respected in some way, where you feel you have more impact, and maybe you might have to take some important executive decisions for your life or for your direction in life, for your career. It can also mean dignitaries. Jupiter in the 10th house is people with, and it's exalted in Cancer, that you meet some people in important social positions, bosses, big players, wealthy people, that. And because Jupiter is making trine, those contacts and connections can be beneficial for your work yourself, for your material situation, from your social status. So if you have an opportunity, or even if you're not planning it, you can meet with some very important people in power and dignitaries and the famous, the glamorous, I don't know, or maybe the top ones in your company. That can benefit you in some way. And also you can start work, or maybe some project, career project can come back to you that you always wanted to do, that you started doing, but you haven't fully fulfilled its potential, and you come back to it to make it happen over the next 6 months. Or maybe some career opportunity that you missed or that you didn't fully develop will come back to you. And it will be good. If it comes back, no, it is good because Jupiter is turning retrograde in your 10th house. So the circumstances of your success, of your worldly position start changing. Because it's part of a grand trine, it is for the good. And of course, at the end of the month, Saturn is turning. So it's stationary pretty much the whole month. And it's turning direct in your 6th house for the last time for the next 30 years. And you'll start feeling it more towards December, but already Saturn is receiving trines here from Jupiter, from the Sun, from the new moon. Oh, maybe I should speak about the new moon first, which is on the 20th. On the 20th of November, there is a new moon in your 2nd house, and Mercury retrograde just exactly on the 20th moves into your 2nd house as well and is joined with this new moon. This means that something old, something new in regards to finances and money. You might need to, for the last 10, 15 days of the month, to rethink certain financial decisions in your life, certain spendings. There might be some bigger spending as well, that it is possible, and that makes you reorganize your finances. But because these planets with the new moon on the 20th are all part of a grand trine, you can take some new financial decisions as well, because it's a new moon, new beginnings, new ideas with based on possibly things that have already happened, because Mercury is retrograde, but something new direction that will be very beneficial for the financial security of your family. So also Mercury retrograde in the 2nd house is some money, maybe something you invested, now it comes back to you. Some money that is or to you comes back to you, something that, or maybe seeing the results of previous efforts financially. But yes, indeed, they can be some surprises financially because of a Mercury retrograde there, and the need to rethink, to rebudget, to look at your finances from a different, new perspective, different perspective, and research it. And when Mercury turns direct, implement it from the beginning of December. And because Mercury is direct already in your second house, and it's 10 days after the new moon in your second house, which might have given for fresh perspective, fresh opportunities in regards to your finances. But second house is not just finances. Second house is your health habits, your eating habits, for example, your tastes in food, in wines, in clothes. So there can be some shift there as well, but for the better. And because of this great trines there, so choosing something more quality, and Mercury retrograde, you should research well before you make big purchases, for sure. But something is shifting in your internal, what you like, what your preferences are, even for food, even for beauty, clothes, art. And there's something new plus some rethinking of an old, and your material assets, I'm reorganizing there. But because of the wonderful supportive aspects, you kind of intuitively do the right choices and decisions. And last but not least is Saturn turning direct at the very end of the month on the 28th to 30th. Together with Mercury turns direct then as well. So if there was any complications with finances at the end of the month, they get resolved. If there was any delays there, or with resources, or with receiving materials, because second house can be like you've ordered some materials for something, I don't know, some materials, tiles for your kitchen. And Mercury retrograde goes there. Oh, they sent me a different color. Let's, you know, surprise. Let's order them again or something. But all of this from the beginning of December it's solved. No more, you know, unexpected developments. While Saturn turning direct in your sixth house, sixth house is the house of employees, for example. So if you had problems with employees, I don't know, builders you hired at home, or people that you manage, people that work for you in some way, these problems start getting solved. Possibly you see that it gets easier and easier in November, and at the end of November, Saturn turns direct. So there is a shift of energy and change of direction in your, say, with employees or at your work position. So if the situation was a certain way till now at your work, it will turn around, it will shift. If, for example, you've been putting a lot of efforts, and in November, you might still be putting efforts because Saturn is stationary in regards to your work with some duties and responsibilities. When it starts moving direct, and because it's receiving only trine aspects, there'll be a lot of support with completing some work project, with perfecting it, with solving some difficult work situation. Maybe you're unemployed and now you get employment. Maybe there was some pressure at you at work, or you're not getting along with colleagues, or deadlines you had to chase for something. It starts getting resolved towards the end of November. The beginning of December, you start seeing the results of that. But sixth house is also our health habits. So if you've been putting efforts to improve your health in some way, and if it's been still difficult, when Saturn turns direct, your health also turns different direction. Your health also takes a change for the better. But already this November, because Saturn in your sixth house of health or health problems is receiving only trines, they can be a very stabilizing influence on you finding the right routines and supplements and treatment, or the right daily routines to maintain your health good and to be stable, and to be for long term ahead, to whatever health habits or routines you're doing now to have a long-term positive effects on you. So it might be even good to take on some exercise or physical, that's for health purposes and for maintaining your health as well. And to say if you need second opinion from a doctor, get it now, or to do some medical diagnostics and I don't know, blood samples because of this beautiful configuration in your sixth house with Saturn receiving trines, Neptune receiving trines. So if you're looking for help in regards to maintaining your health for your physical well-being, now it can be the time either with the right doctor, the right you intuitively will be drawn there to help you untangle some long-standing physical health or mental imbalance in your life. Sixth house, we said, it's work, it's colleagues, it's pets. If you've been having difficulties with a pet, maybe it all starts getting resolved now, being solved. Sixth house is it's house of also debt. If you've been having problems with debt situation where you owe money and it's been difficult, Saturn turning direct in your sixth house says again, there'll be possibly even a way to get rid of it or a way to solve it or to make it less burdensome because we have development here with money and with career possibly. So if I have to summarize it for you, Libra, this is a perfect month to put your life in order. You get to do better financially, you get to do better at your working career. If you have some work project you have to complete and it's important for you, or something career-wise to present, or something financially if you want to make the next steps, if you want to see results. This is all a possibility with the Grand Trine activated in those material houses for you. So get things done, get to put your life in order to, yeah, it's work, it's duties, responsibilities, it's being um, fiscally and responsible also with your health because of the sixth house. But this perfect alignment, things can start flowing there with more ease if they were difficult till now, or even some opportunities to appear in regards to that. Plus, as I said, there is this activation of the third house, and more towards December, planets go more and more into the third house. The Sun joins Mars and Venus, and December Mercury as well will join. So we'll get a lot more social interactions, a lot more, not so many responsibility here, but first you set the ground by this perfect opportunity to feel settled, to feel grounded, that you fulfill your responsibility to get the work done. And then you become a lot more and more social into December. So thank you so much. And if you'd like to hear your 2026 video horoscope, check them out. It's only $19 for the early bird orders for the next 10 days, approximately. Then they become to their normal price. Every year we sell about a few thousand of those, and we never have refunds because people love them. This is my work of love for you. I'm very excited to present it. Thank you.